April. So today I'm going to show you how to get this Charlie's Angels, Dylan Saunders, Drew Barrymore inspired look. So in the year 2000, a little movie called Charlie's Angels came out, which was of course a film adaptation of the TV series that was really popular in the 70s. And in this movie, we had Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and of course Drew Barrymore, which this look is inspired by. And when I say that I friggin' lost my mind when this movie came out, I loved it so much. I had zero interest in like action-y sort of films, but I just loved watching this movie all the time. I had a VHS tape and I wore the crap out of that VHS tape. And I just really love like the saturated colors of the film. Of course, it's like very Americana, red, white, and blue, wholesome cherry pie sort of feel. And it of course does a little bit of a nod to the 70s that I really loved. And of all the really great looks that there were in this film, one of my particular favorites was the one that Drew was sporting in a scene where they were at the California Speedway in Fontana. And she's getting inside the car trying to distract the driver so that Alex can do her thing in the back. And she has this like platinum blonde feathered hair, pastel blue lashes, a sheer red glossy lip, and she looks so hot. And I think about that look all the freaking time. So I decided today that I would go ahead and do the look and then show you guys how I do the look, and then hopefully we can all just sport this look and be really hot together. So yeah, stay tuned and I will show you how to get this hair and makeup, and then we can chat a little bit more after the video, or after the tutorial. Anyways, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply a tacky primer all over the face. Now, I prefer using a tacky primer because I find that my foundation likes to hang on to it a little bit better. Next, I am taking a little brow comb and I'm dipping into these kind of like sandy shades of concealer and running this through my eyebrows just to lighten them up a little bit more. This is a completely optional step. You don't have to do this, but I decided since I was blonde, I might as well. Next, I am taking a little flat concealer brush and some foundation, and I am going to carve out my eyebrows. So I like to trace as close to my brow as possible just to make them look a lot thinner than they really are. And then I like to just blend out the foundation. So now I'm taking my foundation and I'm just going to apply this all over my face. So I have like a normal kind of matte finished foundation, and I decided to put a little bit of facial oil onto my brush and to mix that in with my foundation so that I can have a bit more of a dewy finish. I feel like Drew Barrymore's skin looked very luminescent in this film, so I really wanted to make sure that I concentrated on my base. So just go ahead and blend that all over your face, make sure everything is smooth, there's no creases, and you got coverage everywhere that you want coverage. I like to take a little beauty sponge and I like to just go over that, and I feel like it really presses the product into the skin. It makes it look super skin-like. You can see how luminous the skin looks right now, and I really feel like adding that little bit of oil into the foundation and using the beauty sponge really helps that. Of course, I still get creasing, so I am taking the beauty sponge and then a little bit of loose setting powder and just going over all the places where I feel like I crease. So I take the sponge, press it down, make sure that there's no like creasing, and then go over with the powder to set it. And then whatever I have left over on the puff, I kind of just go over the rest of the face. It is going to set the makeup without taking away too much of that like glow. As you can see, the skin still glows through. And now I'm taking my beauty sponge and just pressing that into the skin. And now I am taking a little makeup wipe and just wiping off all the foundation on my lips. I just kind of always get it all over my lips. You probably don't, but I do. So now I am taking a fluffy blending brush and this pastel powder blue eyeshadow. And I'm going to start applying this onto my lid and then sweeping that up into the crease and just blowing the color out. The good thing about this is that you can really build up the pastel blue on this. And if you are a melanated beauty, I would suggest going a little bit deeper and more primary with the blue, just because I feel like pastels have way too much white in the base. Next, I'm taking a little shader brush and a shimmery white eyeshadow and applying that under my brow bone. And then I'm taking a shimmery powder blue eyeshadow and just applying that on the very center of the lid and then blending that up into the crease. Next, I'm going to take a little pencil brush and that pastel blue eyeshadow we used earlier and sweeping this into my bottom lash line, and then taking some of that white and popping that just in the very inner corner of the eye to really open up the eye. Making sure everything's blended. Now I'm taking a little liner and dipping into some blue cream. I think this is like grease paint, to be honest. I would recommend using an actual blue eyeliner, whether it's a cake liner or liquid eyeliner. But just line your top lash line, don't wing it out. If you're like me and you're using something that's a little bit creamy in texture, go ahead and set that with a little angled brush and some matching eyeshadow so that you don't get too much smudging or anything happening. Go ahead and give your eyelashes a little bit of curl, and then when you're done curling, apply just a nice little coat of mascara to your top eyelashes only for right now. I'm taking a lengthening pair of false eyelashes and applying that to my top lash line. It looks like Drew was wearing a very long pair of lashes. Next, I am taking my nude eyeliner and I'm applying this onto my waterline and then adding just the lightest coat of mascara to my bottom eyelashes, just for a little bit of definition, but not too much. Next, I am taking a kind of like muted pink blush and a large powder brush, and I'm applying that all over my cheeks, onto the apples, sweeping up towards the temple. Of course, I like to go over my nose, on my forehead and chin, just to kind of really rosy up the face. You want to look a little bit sunburnt. Next, I am taking a cherry red lipstick and applying that just to the center of my lips, and then using a clean finger to kind of blur out the very edges. You want it to be diffused and soft. Next, I am taking a sheer cherry lip gloss and applying that all over the lips, trying to make sure that the outer edges are still really soft and not like super loaded with color. I want to keep all the color centered on the lips. And yeah, I take a really long time applying lip gloss apparently. Going back in with that red lipstick, I'm just going to apply this to the very center of the lip for an even more cherry kissed look. And now I'm going to take this powder brush and a little bit of this like pinky gold highlight and applying that just to the high points of my face for a little extra glow. And then once again, I'm adding just a little bit more blush just to make sure that everything looks balanced and rosy. And then going in with my damp beauty sponge and pressing all the product into the skin. This is how you keep everything looking skin-like. Moving on to hair. So hair, my goodness. Okay, so part your hair down the middle and make sure that you brush through it so that there's no knots or tangles. I like to kind of shake everything out. Next, with a hot hair straightener, I'm going to just take the front sections of my bangs and I'm going to flip them out. As you can see, you just clamp the hair and use your wrist to kind of like help flip the hair out. And I'm just doing this with all the front sections of my hair. And once I get to the ends of my hair, I am actually just curling it a little bit more. Curling, you just kind of like wrap it over the hair straightener and it'll eventually create a little bit of curl. It's so hard to explain how to curl hair with a hair straightener, so I'm so sorry about that. But I want a little bit more bump on the ends of the front pieces. I want them to be a little bit tighter, and once they are where I like them, I take a brush just to kind of go through them, soften them up a little bit, feather them, and then I'm taking some of the underside sections and just teasing that a little bit for some volume because my hair can get a little flat. And I'm actually going to go ahead and add just a little bit more curl towards the end, which is kind of hard to see because my hair is so long and I was a dummy who didn't put the chair back a little bit more so you can see that, so I'm sorry, but just curl the ends and then brush them through a little bit. This takes so long in retrospect, but it's like really quick when you do it in person. And I'm just preening myself. And this is it for the completed look. I threw some shades on top because I didn't have the like tinted rimless sunnies that she had with like the little star rhinestoned corner. I used to have a pair of glasses like that, but it wasn't a star, it was a heart rhinestone on the corner that I got at the carnival. I really love this hair and I love this makeup. I feel very hot. It feels like summertime. You know, it's 1970s, summertime. We're talking about halters and tube tops and Daisy Dukes and roller skates and going to hot dog on a stick, and I don't know, like that's just kind of the vibe that I get from it, and I love it very much. I did want to mention a couple of things. So a very pale pastel blue can be a difficult color to wear, and so if you are a melanated beauty, I would suggest going with a deeper blue like this and doing that all over the lid. You'll get the same vibe without kind of creating a very like white cast, because I think that pastels can have just a little bit too much white in the base and it doesn't kind of read the same way. So if you are deeper in skin tone, I would suggest using a blue like this and doing that all over the lid, and you'll get a pastel effect without having like a true pastel, because that's not gonna really, it's not gonna give you the same effect. But yeah, I really love this hair and makeup. I love Charlie's Angels. I love Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. I've never been really keen on watching like action films. I was just never interested in it. But I remember watching Charlie's Angels when I was really young, when it just came out, and I was obsessed and I would watch it all the time. And I remember when they were making the movie, because I have cousins that live in Fontana, and they were like, they're making a movie over here and they're closing all the streets off. And you know, later on we ended up finding out that it was for Charlie's Angels, and it's really kind of fun to see parts of Fontana shot over there. I have been to the California Speedway in Fontana a couple of times. My stepdad and my mom are really into like NASCAR. And we have been invited like to just stay for the day before, because they like to go camping over there. And you know, it's not really a sport for me. I'm just like, you're just, you know, watching cars go around, and it's really loud, and I don't like having super loud sounds like that. I don't like being in really high bleachers. I get very uncomfortable. But I remember my mom being embarrassed, because I was like, if I'm going to the Speedway, I'm gonna channel Dylan Saunders. And I did. I feathered my hair and I wore red, white, and blue eyeshadow and red lipstick, and my mom's like, you're embarrassing. And I'm like, I don't care. But yeah, it's a really easy look. Something that I noticed, I never noticed before, and then right before I filmed, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna refresh my memory. I'm gonna watch the film again just to make sure I got all the details right. And I paused it when we got to that scene, and she had her eyes down, and I noticed that she looked like she was wearing a blue eyeliner on her top lash line. And I would have just used a black eyeliner, but if I didn't actually pause the film to look, it's very subtle, and it is a bright blue eyeliner. Now, I would have used something like this. This was a NYX eyeliner that I had from many years ago, but it's completely dried out. So that's why I kind of used this, because this is all I had. But yeah, blue eyeliner. And it's not a winged out look. And she has a very like lengthening pair of false eyelashes. They aren't really voluminous. You just want a lot of length, but she was wearing a pair of false eyelashes, and she just had a little bit of blush, slight glow. It could be makeup, it could just be a very hot California summer day when they were filming. Yeah, and the lips just looked really glossy. I think Drew Barrymore has like a really beautiful lip shape. It's very like defined, and I'm kind of obsessed. So yeah, I did a little bit of red, and then just to get a stain, and then I put some clear lip gloss over it. But yeah, those were the little things that I noticed. I was like, she's wearing blue eyeliner, and I never noticed that. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I love this makeup. I love this hair. I need to get more layers though because I'm having a hard time feathering my hair these days. But yeah, it's actually a really simple look and I hope you guys try it out. I also wanted to just say a huge thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos these past couple of weeks. I was kind of nervous when I did the Layla Buffalo 66 video because I figured it would probably be a little bit controversial. I think some people were really pissed off that I said anything about you know who being a predator and a groomer, and I just want to say that like I really don't fucking care. Like I think that it should be mentioned. So if you guys are watching this for the first time, you can go ahead and like watch the previous video to be a little bit more informed. I said a little something in the description box as well as including some links so you guys can read up on it yourself. I think it's very important to support Chris Benton, and Vincent Gallo is a piece of shit. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.